I want to hear her other things she should have said. No one saw this coming. It was during a storm. I'm on my cell phone and I'm driving, and all of a sudden, lightning strikes my car. I can feel it go through my cell phone, through my body, and all the way through, like, to my toe.
And
so
side effects.
And
that is
Just say it however you say it.
But I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big. I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Real People in Real Estate podcast, where we talk about the real shit and not about real estate. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke Jones, aka the Millennial Agent.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Tyra Nicole.
And I am Nicole Pay, and today we have Realtor. See, you guys must be up.
Realtor.
They say I say too many syllables. Realtor extraordinaire, mentor, wife, mom, everything amazing, Amy Rupp. Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here. It's like a room full of like amazing people.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys had
Including
me
yourself.
all in my head about that. Okay, say it again. We're gonna go over this. It's
Realtor. And it's like
Everybody
hard.
says it different.
Yes. Serious
Realtor.
ones.
I
will say
like
it
add an
that.
extra syllable in there.
You add a
Realtor.
Realtor.
You say realtor.
Realtor.
But I just say realtor.
Realtor. Real estate agent extraordinaire.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Welcome. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
How's everything going?
Everything's going great.
Going great?
Yes, into January, starting an exciting 2024. So
Yeah, 1 month down, guys.
This has
know,
been
it's
the
been a long
longest
month.
possible. Like, I really
Yeah.
feel like we're on like January 42nd.
Yeah.
Like, this has literally been the longest month. And we've had so
It
much
has.
stuff happen in the news. We always talk about some like juicy gossip
Hot
news. Where do we
topics.
even start? Like, where
what's
would you
going
guys
on
start?
right now in pop culture? What's new?
The Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj beef.
What's
I
going on with
don't
that?
even, like, I need to
I just
I
been
think I need
seeing
to
it.
understand how that even
You're like, I don't know
started.
what
Like, Megan Thee Stallion did a diss track, right?
Yeah.
And then Nicki Minaj came back with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But then Nicki Minaj like took some low blows and like talked about like Megan's.
They both did.
Oh, did they say? I didn't see. I don't know all that. But weren't they
Yeah.
like at one point friends?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh gosh. So they're
I feel like
okay.
it's always been Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B.
That's what I always felt like. I don't.
Yeah.
I
don't-
think
we
it's been
actually
like
did that.
Nicki Minaj versus everyone.
We
That's
did
how
that
I've
poll.
always
We did
felt.
that poll when we were on vacation. We did we made you and Rob play like all kinds of
Yeah, so
Nicki
what
Minaj
team
and
are you
Cardi.
guys on? Team Cardi B, Team
I'm
Nicki Minaj?
I'm straight Cardi B.
I love
definitely
Cardi
Nicki
B.
for
I
me.
said it.
When Bodak Yellow came out, I was like done. I'm
Yeah,
like, what is
I
this? It's so
have
good.
Straight
It's like,
men.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So Nicki
you're
Minaj, she'll
Nicki.
like murder all of them on
That's the problem. She's mad, so.
I really feel like she's the best female rapper. I do feel like that. But that's
She's
just,
good. She's so fast. Like, I mean, like, yeah, I do like her.
I just think
bars.
I just think it's a
she does.
whole like everything about her. Just I don't know. There's something about her that just kind of irks me. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm just more so talking about like
Skills
her rapping.
or-
Yeah.
Okay, that yes.
She's a.
I like her.
She is.
I like her too though a little bit, but I was just talking about like the bars.
Like her, or
Not like I like the whole Nicki Minaj thing, like
Oh,
the Barbie,
gotcha.
like the pink Barbie.
Barbs. She calls
I
them
think
the
with the
Barbs.
female rappers, it's like more of a competition. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah,
It's
because the
always-
industry
they
is so
always do
difficult
that,
to get
yeah.
into. Like it's such a difficult.
Like the guy rappers, you don't ever see it's like
Well,
so and so.
in the
90s, you did.
Well, they've had
Tupac and
like,
Biggie,
over
the
the
list
years.
goes. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
not even open that door. But so that's kind of been January. That's been a little bit Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know. I think it's
just
been
started,
a quiet. What did I just send you the other day? And I was like, oh, it's all coming out. Oh, the WWE thing. Did you guys hear about
Oh
that?
yeah, what's up with that? Because I'm
Okay.
not, yeah.
I just kind of heard about. So Vince McMahon is like the. I don't know, what is he, like the CEO or whatever of the WWE? Like, there would be no WWE without Vince McMahon. Supposedly, one of his workers' assistants came out and basically is allegedly accusing him of SA. And it's pretty bad. And then the Bella twins, I don't know if you guys
I
are
love Toto Bellas.
Okay, so the Bella twins, Nikki and Brie Bella, they were like very big, beautiful, like they're gorgeous, both gorgeous. In fact, one of them's married to like Dancing with the Stars guys, right?
Yeah. Nikki.
I don't know.
Is that what it is? So anyways, their stepdad has been also named in the lawsuit that he is a part of, and it's pretty like they're talking like sex trafficking and SA and a lot of like huge
This is why I don't want wrestling.
allegations.
Right here, what you're talking about.
So basically, what we've kind of been talking about, like this last, like what do you call it? The year of exposure, like everything is starting to come out, like anything that's in the dark. So it just kind of January kind of started that off, and then I saw that WWE thing, and I was like,
here we go.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's really like with the whole Cat Williams thing, and that came out, that interview.
Yeah.
So
And
a lot of people are getting exposed right now for some.
What was the island thing that you guys were talking about?
Oh, Epstein Island.
Epstein Island,
Yeah.
The List.
The
Yeah.
List, which I don't even think I've seen.
No, I haven't either.
So.
All right, let's jump
That's a
into
lot.
it, Amy.
So that's pretty much it. Like, there's not much in January that we've really
We'll see
talked
what
about.
happens in February.
Everyone's hibernating because it's winter.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So tell us about Amy. First, like, tell us about your family, because we like made a joke. Like, some people thought you only had one kid. I actually thought you had 3 boys. I did not know you had a daughter. So
I didn't know you had 4.
Yeah.
I didn't know you
Yeah.
had 4. Okay, so
I
tell
didn't
us.
either. And then they all came
Then
and
they
were like,
hit you,
hey,
like,
we're actually your child.
we're
And I was
here.
like, what? You're our mom. So we have 4 kids. I've been married for, it'll be 24 years this year.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
congratulations on that.
Yeah, so we have our oldest son is 21. And he is just graduated with his nursing.
Your oldest son is 21.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I know.
Okay.
I know.
You look great.
Well, I had him when I was 8, so just trying to stay on. So he's 21, and then Aiden, who's you guys know,
Yes.
20, and then I have a daughter who's 18, who's going to school to be a dermatologist, and
Okay.
she is the most dedicated person in the whole wide world.
Like her mom?
She will pull this off. Like if anyone in the world can pull this off, it will be this girl.
Okay.
And then I have a 13-year-old. So, yeah.
And your
You kind of
13-year-old's a
started
son.
over a little
A son.
bit.
So you have
Yeah,
one girl,
Ryan.
3 boys.
Yeah, Ava is my daughter, and then Ryan is the youngest.
Okay.
So,
So were you a young mom?
well, that's the funny part.
She was 8, remember? She just said she was 8.
Yeah,
but
well,
she
I
had-
think,
For real.
I don't know. Like we were in Kentucky back then. Just kidding. No, I was. I don't know. I don't. What's young? I guess
She don't want
like
to tell
a
her
teen mom.
age.
Were you not a teen mom? No.
Oh, okay.
So okay, this is a big reveal. I'm 47.
Oh, yeah.
So
wow,
Whatever. You look amazing.
amazing. Like you should never be have any problem with saying your
Absolutely not.
age
Thank
because
you.
you look great.
Okay, well, I'm 84. I'll be 84 this month. So 47. So I was 26 when I started. We got married when I was 24, kids when I was 26. And it would be at school, and, I was like the young mom. There was like older mom, lots of, like much, much older. Like I was like, grandma mom. And then when I had our last child, it was quite a bit younger. And so then I was like, oh my God, I'm grandma mom.
I fully can relate to
It hit me
that.
hard. I was like,
Fully.
oh, here I am.
My oldest is 18, and I was very much a young mom.
Oh, yeah.
My youngest is 2, and I'm very much the grandma mom.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, it's-
And when they're
How does that
literally
feel?
grandma mom,
It's because then I have the 11 and 6-year-old in the middle, where I'm kind of like not sure where I fit in yet with those
Girl.
moms.
Thank
So you can
Thank you
fully
for
relate to
understanding.
that. Like I fully, but it's so. How does that feel for you? Like for me, I find myself.
humbling, actually.
Humbling. I find myself. I
Like, can I give them back or no? Like, because when you're a grandma, you can get them and then you can give them back, but then you
amazing.
can't.
No,
'cause
they're
they're
doesn't
They're
really
not
work
leaving.
like that.
Everyone lives at home. Literally, my oldest is like, how am I ever going to move out of this house? He's like, I don't know how to cook anything. He goes, all I know how to make is ramen noodles. He goes, so I'd either die from eating just ramen noodles or die from eating fast food. I'm going to die if I leave. And then my youngest was like literally struggling with a bag of goldfish. And he's like trying his hardest. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, you have got to figure this out. This is a life skill. You're 13 years old.
You can do it.
Work with me.
You can open the
please. You have to move
goldfish.
out one day. How will you eat goldfish? You know, like, I don't know.
How do you think that's gonna be though? Like being an empty nester.
So I think I'm gonna be terrified. My house is crazy. I mean, like, kids constantly, like, we tried to set up our house so it was always like the spot to hang out. Big screen TVs, multiple video game consoles. Like, it is packed all the time, in and out and in and out. And I always was the yes mom. Can people stay the night? Yep. Can they come over watch the game? Yep. I'll buy snacks. Like, I wanted it to be at my house, right? And
Well, yeah, because you want your kids at your house. I don't want them at, because I know what happens.
so it's
That's
gonna
what
be
I tell
like
him.
silent library, I feel like. And my husband is quiet. Anyone who has met him will say, you guys are opposite. Like, I am labeled the most extroverted extrovert. Like,
Extroverted extrovert?
Yes, I got called that twice. Once by a random friend, but then my other friend, she was a pastor's wife, and she had been to churches in Vegas, mega churches all over the place. And she's like, I have met thousands of people, and you are the most extroverted extrovert I have ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Because I am fueled
Yeah.
by being around people.
Yeah.
I'm
I
around people sun up
admire
to
people
sundown.
like you. That could be like an extrovert like that.
I'm
do.
extroverted, and
Yes.
then I get like excited around people, and like that's a high for me.
Yeah.
And I could be around people from morning till night and be like excited.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not good at being an introvert.
What about your kids, though? Like, what do you see their different personalities
Yeah,
and who
I
they
have-
follow?
Introvert, extrovert, in the middle, and in the middle. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would say Aiden's a little bit
Aiden.
more introverted.
Well, no, I would say Aiden is my
See,
most
I was going to
extroverted.
say, yeah, because
Really?
I was
Actually
going down
talk to
because you
people.
went from oldest, so I was Aiden
Yeah.
as extrovert.
In the
Most
meeting,
like
he's a
me
little
anyway.
introverted.
But I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably intimidating. You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
are like a big deal. He's got stars in his eyes when he's around you guys. Seriously, like, he comes home and he'll talk about one of the team members, and he gets like so inspired, and I just love that. Like, my gratitude, like, that would probably make me cry. Like, just like, because this is really like, he followed me, I think, to do real estate, but like his passion, he just loves marketing, and like, I will be 100% honest, like, Rob to him was like one of probably the most influential person, like, besides his mama.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I just feel like and it's everything about the person you are, really, and like, gratitude infinity for that, like, for sure. But like, and I love that, like, people are momming him, and like, he just thinks you're so cool, and he's like, oh, she's living in the lofts above, you know, like, he's just excited to be around, and he's probably not as outgoing as he is around other people, just because, he's like the little kid, like, he's like, I don't want to say anything, like, he's just happy to be here, happy to be in the space, happy to learn. But
then you said your oldest was an introvert, and he went into nursing, which is ironic.
I know. I'm like,
because
his bedside manner is going to be trash. I am not kidding. He is so introverted.
that would be interesting to me as a nurse. So then your Aiden's going into real estate, but marketing is staying. So you had mentioned before that real estate wasn't your first career.
No.
Take us back to where did
How far back you want to go?
listen
girl?
from the beginning? Go to childhood.
Let's start from the beginning.
We can start at childhood. Like, yeah.
Where'd you grow
Like
up?
little
How was your
you.
childhood?
Okay, so I grew up on a dead end road, and everyone had about an acre of land, and it wasn't like farm country. I went to Woodhaven High School, but my parents are still together. They got married when they were 17 and 18. My mom was pregnant, and they got married, and they were together since they were 15 and 16, actually, and then they ended up married, and they're still together.
That's amazing.
And so we were raised super poor. My dad was working at a gas station making $2.25 an hour with a baby. And
Unbelievable.
so, it was interesting. And my sister was 5 years younger than me. So it's just her and I. And then I went to school. I was going to be a respiratory therapist. And I started doing rounds at the hospital. And it was so gross. Oh, my God. Like, boogers. Like, just, I couldn't. I was like, this is not
So
for
you
me.
went all the way through school and then got
No,
to... Oh,
it was
okay.
a 2-year degree. So I started
Okay.
as just a community college, and I was in there for a little while, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not for me. I gotta switch this up. So I switched. I was at Monroe. Oh, and the other thing that was funny, I was at Monroe County Community College, and someone actually rode a horse to school. A horse. And I was like, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. What am I doing?
Hey, I went to Monroe Community College too.
You did? Did you ever see a horse?
I didn't see a horse.
I thought it was crazy that our ice cream place at the like corner, like in our town, has a horse. What do you call it? Like
Trough.
Like a bike rack
Trough.
for horses?
no, it's like a bike rack. Like a bike rack.
Trough where they eat?
No, like that's where you
Oh,
tie
where you
your
tie 'em up.
horses
Oh,
up to go get ice cream, and then you get back. And I'm like, what is this? And it's like the horse stop, like where you. And I was like, wow.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yeah. That's a whole other
You
conversation.
come across to me as like one of those people that would ride like the horses.
Absolutely
Did you
not.
ever do that?
No,
Absolutely not.
I'm a city girl. I'm a city
No,
girl.
I could like
She said absolutely not. You shut that shit
I
down
have
real
been
fast.
on a horse, and the whole time I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't know where to put my hand. Like I just feel like awkward. I am like very city. I'm not made for the country.
So you left Monroe Community
So I
College.
left Monroe, went to Henry Ford Community College, and I happened to. You guys are gonna be like, this girl is even older than we thought when I tell you this story. So before there were Google Maps, I took a class. It was like GIS. It was Geographic Information Systems, and it was computerized mapping. Before that was a thing. Like
Yeah.
this is gosh, this is so old. Like
I
I'm
am
saying
not
this
that.
out loud.
Listen, I am not that much younger than you.
Okay,
like
thank you.
A couple years,
you.
so I know exactly. I used to print my maps out on paper.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
here's the
Yes.
I was just talking about that with someone.
Like, come
It's really
on,
embarrassing.
MapQuest.
So I fell in love with it. Though I just loved it so much. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And
Hold on, you loved what?
the mapping. I took this mapping class, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was a thing. Like I had to take like a whatever it was. I can't think of the
Like a-
category.
like a gen ed
like an
or-
elective.
They had
but
a
it was
class
it had
for
to be a
maps?
specific. Yes, it was just map making, digital map making. So.
Okay.
That's quite a
It was
the fact that you even
nerdy.
found that class.
It's really
like,
nerdy.
that's what
I
I'm
know.
saying,
I
like,
understand. I'm nerdy. Like I would go there like, to like conferences, and it would be like a sea of like nerds, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
So you were intrigued by the map.
I just had fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't
Okay.
know.
So
like
where,
a
does
geography.
that, where does that
So I
take you?
stuck with it, and I
Yeah.
became like my degree is actually geography. I'm a geographer.
Okay.
I have a bachelor's in geography.
I would have
Of all
never.
things.
And you thought she rode horses, and she's over here with a bachelor's
Making
degree in
maps.
geography.
I could definitely still see you riding horses.
I am a little offended by this.
No, I've always admired people like that.
no.
That like
No.
those rich people that ride the horses and they have on like
the
all
Kentucky
black
Derby.
like you have on right now.
With the boots,
It's in my short pants.
With the boots.
the riding pants.
Riding
My
pants.
riding pants that I wore today.
And you're, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So anyway, so I went to Wayne
Geography,
State.
that is
graduated with
Oh my
the.
god, me too.
Oh my, are we?
Amy.
I told you I was your mom, bro. Are you my other kid that I didn't know about?
That you didn't
I'm
know
gonna show up on your door.
She was my teenage daughter that I didn't know that I had.
So Wayne State.
Yes, I went to Wayne State, and I actually was like 2 classes away from a master's when I found out I was pregnant with Caleb, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm done with school.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, after I was in my program, I got an internship in Southwest Detroit. So I actually worked on West Werner Highway near Central for about. I was there for 12 years at the nonprofit, and they did commercial and business development along West Werner Highway. And their goal was to just like regentrify the commercial district. They had a very, at the time in Detroit, it was like one of the strongest neighborhoods where it was still very populous, a very much, huge sense of community. And my grandfather's family actually, like St. Anne's Church, I don't know if you know where that is. His family lived across the street from there. So my mom's side is Mexican. And
Several of my friends got married at St. Anne's.
yeah, oh gosh, such
Beautiful
a beautiful
church.
church. Yes.
Beautiful.
And so I just had a passion for that neighborhood. We always went down there growing up, and I just loved that neighborhood, and I loved my job there. I just loved it. It was so great, a wonderful community of people, and so I was there a long time, and then I actually, then I was at Michigan and Livernois for a little while at a different business association. And then there was some political issues at the time, the mayor.
Which mayor was this?
Kwame.
Well, the
Okay.
only
Yeah.
mayor that we do.
And all of the nonprofit funding got frozen. It was like you could not touch any of the finances. Everything was frozen, and so I wasn't getting paid. And at that time, my husband's company, at the very same time, and we had 3 children, babies at home. My husband's company was being bought out by another company, and so I wasn't getting paid, and he wasn't getting paid. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I started taking these contract jobs here and there, and I was chasing them all over the city, and I was like, gosh, this is crazy. And he started getting paid again, and so I went back home, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay home and be an at-home mom. But I missed being around people because I'm an extrovert. And I worked part-time after I had kids, and so
What'd you do part-time?
well, I was able to actually work from home before it was cool because my job was computer based, so I could do most of my work from home.
Okay.
So I would go in the office 2 days and then work from home the other 2 or 3. And then a friend of mine, I was at home and she said, hey, I need help in my real estate office. Would you be interested? And I was like, huh. And she knew me. I'd known her for years. She said, would you like to come and help me? I'm overwhelmed. I have all these sales. I'm busy and I need another assistant. My assistant needs another assistant. And I was like, sure, yeah, okay. And she knew my kids. She knew I would need a flexible schedule. I was like, oh, this is perfect. And it was super close to my house. So that's how I started in real estate.
And when was this?
That was in 2009.
Okay.
So did you get your license right away?
No, I did not. I was just a real estate assistant processing paperwork, and I actually, Lisa LaRoe was who trained me. And when I got hired, the person that hired me said, "Hey, you need an assistant. I'm gonna get, you have to hire an assistant. You need help." And the weekend goes by, and she's like, "Hey, I hired somebody," and it was me. And Lisa, I walked in, and Lisa's like, who is this? And now we're best friends.
Yeah.
It was just and she was like my soul sister. So, but it was just funny, how that came to be, because I walked in and she was like, who is this? I thought, she's like, I did not like you, at first, and then within minutes we were talking so easily, and I just learned so much from her. She was, it was wonderful. And then I was doing that for about 2 years, and the company lead was like, hey, do you want to get your real estate license? And I was like, oh gosh, I hadn't thought about that, but I'm not one to turn down education. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And so I got licensed, and everything just kind of took off. I was sold, I think, 11 houses the first year, and then I was like, I'm gonna try.
That's awesome, yeah.
And then I tried, and I'm like, I'm gonna try selling one a week. And then I sold one a week.
I was gonna say, when I started mentoring with you, when I was doing your program, if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna go ahead and toot your horn for you, you had sold your goal for the year by August.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started having her being in her mentor program. And when she had said that in our group, I was like, it's September, and she's like, I hit my goal in August, and I was like, well, damn.
Well, and
that's
I hit my goal, and I just wanted to help other people. I'm like, okay, I have time. And the crazy part is, I'm like, okay, I'm going to help every agent I can. I've hit my goal for the year, So I'm helping, and I end up selling 80 homes that year.
Wow.
And that was helping other people. And I'm like, it just happened. But I'm like, I'm all about that. Just give. Just give as much as you can. You will never, ever regret giving your time, your money, your resources, ever. It will always come back to you. And
it always comes back.
Yeah.
I didn't reach out to Amy. I remember I had a situation. I don't even remember what the situation was, but I was like, Amy, can I call you right now? I got a question. And she was like,
I think I've done that several times in the last 2 years.
And I'll never say no.
Many times.
Ever.
I'm like, do you got a free minute?
Yes, I don't care. I mean, I have people from other brokerages that comment. I don't care. That's not what it's about. If I can help you, if I can share my knowledge is free now. I've paid my dues. I know it. I'm more than willing to share it.
So do you find real estate to still be your passion, or are you looking into other avenues?
No, just real estate. It's my thing.
Yeah.
It gives me the time freedom. A lot of people go into it for time freedom, and they don't actually get the time freedom. I want to live a semi-retired life. No, that sounds terrible.
No, that sounds good.
I want to enjoy every second of my life. And so as I was thinking, I have sold a lot of homes, and during that time I'm I couldn't go on vacation with them. My phone. And this isn't life. Yeah. Right? And then the next year I sold less, which was great, but I made more, which I was like, okay, well, I'm figuring something out here.
Yeah.
And so I kept figuring out, like, how could I do even more and more and more and more? And so that's like what helped. Like, I changed brokerages, I cut some costs out, and now I'm making the most that I can with my time. And I want to do it, obviously give my clients 1,000% full-time all in, but part-time, you know what I mean? Where I can have the life of my dreams right now. Yeah. There's nothing more important than time. I'll go over that over and over. Time is everything.
Have you done a lot of traveling recently, Amy?
Oh, yes. So that's one of my obsessions is traveling. I love going new places, and I have, different people that'll, girls trip kind of people, and then I have my cousins love traveling together, and we're all to the point where we're like our kids are older, and we were all raised really close together. We used to camp. A lot of camping.
I love camping. We're a camping family.
I am not a camper.
We are tent camping family.
Oh my god!
We have 4 or 5 tents set up. The kids get their own tents, and then we have our own tent. I love tent camping.
Okay, so if I camp, I do not mind camping in a tent.
I'm ready to upgrade to a trailer.
Glamping? Is it called glamping?
Glamping, yeah. But no, I don't. Camping's not my thing. I like hotels. I like pools. I like beaches. I like
all inclusive. Put me on a
call me, girl.
Yes, listen.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
And that's I like that. I like those kind of vacations. But yeah, I've been to Nashville and Austin and
Nashville.
That's my place.
Gosh, I love Nashville. All over Florida, West Palm Beach. I love South Beach. I love Siesta Key. I love Fort Myers, Tampa. I just love traveling anywhere.
So do you have your license in any other states?
No, and I don't have a desire. If I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. I won't even go. This is terrible, and I've been shamed for this before. I will not go to work conferences out of the state. Because if I'm out of state, if I'm taking time away from my family, it is not to be sitting in the classroom and learning. I can get lots of education remotely or locally.
I will say I really agree with that. However, we did the out-of-state one, and we drove to Texas for the build, and then we drove to Nashville, and we made it.
Drove though?
We drove from Michigan to Texas.
Camera on wheel.
But
Oh yeah, you need to get in the camera. Go ahead. He always likes to pipe in.
I was also the one that when we had to sit in classrooms in Austin, I said, babe, we have to sit in here the whole time.
The whole time, you did.
Thank you.
You would and if I even named some of the people that were there, we turn around and be like, where'd so-and-so go?
And then people be dropping off.
Jump flat by
I went to vacation.
Yeah, so that was the only thing, we didn't, but we did choose to make a vacation out of it. So we drove from Michigan to Texas.
Yes.
And then
I know people add days on the beginning or end.
And then we detoured on our way home, and we stopped in Nashville for 4 days, and then came home.
I tried one time, and we stayed at the Bellagio, and was it the Bellagio? No, it was, what's the other Italian one? Venetian.
Venetian.
Isn't that Italian still? Okay, whatever.
I think
Don't judge.
It is today.
Okay. But their pool was just out of this world. I'm like, here it is, 98 degrees outside. I could be sitting by a pool or listening to a monotone man speak. And I was it wasn't an exciting conference. So I was I'm gonna go in the pool. So I was that person disappearing, sliding under, I'm out. This isn't for me. That wasn't for me.
I actually like that philosophy, though. I mean, it makes
there's so much you can learn remotely. Yeah. There's podcasts, there's Zoom conferences, there's stuff all over. Stuff all over Michigan. Yeah. There's people you can follow on all different sources of media. It's just. If I'm away from my family, if I'm taking time away from my business, I want to recharge me. I want to have fun. I want to do something exciting or, whatever. So,
that's how I feel after 7 o'clock. I do, because I have a start time. I do. I have a schedule.
Except for on Wednesdays.
I have a start time and an end time. And my end time is 7 o'clock. So I really don't want to talk about real estate after 7.
That's one thing that you've taught me. She really made me start doing. I don't like schedules. I have a hard time with them, and that was something that she challenged me to last year. And when she said my end time 7, I'm like, that's a real thing. You actually don't answer your phone.
I
She's
love
like,
it.
Like I work
don't.
from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. You can reach me. Anything after 7, like it could wait to 9 a.m. in the morning.
Nothing's getting
So-
done in real estate after
Yeah.
7
Right.
p.m. Title companies
Like-
aren't open, banks aren't open. Like,
So
Yeah.
that's how
That's
I feel after
smart.
7. Like I don't want to talk about real estate. Like this is different.
This is
is
different.
like fun
Yeah.
for me. This
Yeah.
is not that.
Yeah.
But asking me about an offer after 7.
No, I'm busy.
Like 9 o'clock.
Well,
you
and
know,
I feel like that's hard in our industry
Yeah.
because we are expected to be always available, and
Yeah, I'm just not.
it's hard. I no, she's like
like,
no,
no, yeah.
Did you hear me? It's a no.
yeah, that's a no for me.
It's like you get 9 a.m. all the way to 7
that's a
p.m.
long
That's a
day. I
long
know.
day. Like, so.
And that's probably my toxic trait is that it's such a huge thing when someone trusts you with their finances, right? And
Yeah.
so and my clients I've attracted about I think 3 years ago, no, probably more than 5 years ago, probably now. One of my mentors I had a lot of respect for, he taught me to work with people you enjoy working with. He said, I had terrible clients that were like making me cry, dominating so much of my time. I was miserable. And he said, can I ask you a question? I was like, sure. He goes, it's personal. And I said, it's fine. And he said, if you didn't have those 2 clients, could you still buy groceries for your family? I'm like, well, yeah. Could you pay your car payment? Could you pay your mortgage? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, then stop.
Yeah.
Don't work with people like that.
Right.
They're not for you. They're going to hang out with other people like them who are also not for you because they're going to be like people hang out together.
Right.
And I was like, oh. I swear to God, the second I did that is when my business took off.
Yeah.
That was the best advice I've ever got. So now the people I'm attracting are like me. And so if someone texts me at 10 o'clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Amber, I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just tell them, hey, if I'm awake, I'll try to answer.
Yeah.
If I don't, I promise I'll get back with you the second, first thing in the morning, and I'm up early.
Yeah,
So
I've just kind of always set those boundaries.
I love it. I'm all about
so that because if you make yourself available during that time, you're going to have those people that reach out to you during that time, and you've always made yourself available, but that one time when you're not available is going to be a problem. It's like, why isn't she answering me?
Yes.
But if you make it known that these are my hours, this is when I work, they'll wait to 9 a.m.
It's so true.
To
It's
reach
so
out to you.
true.
So
You
I just kind of set those boundaries.
Yeah.
I
It is
also
boundaries.
feel like this could be the introvert extrovert difference too. I'm like, oh, people.
Definitely.
Oh, a conversation.
Definitely. If it works for you, it
I
works
do
for
think,
you.
I really do
But
think
yeah.
it's like he just
That's
pointed
it.
at me. I do think it's an extra.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I'm very much an extrovert.
If you're
And,
cool with it, like
I know,
every
but I respect
Will will be
it
like,
so much that you're making boundaries. I think that's so important. And then, to me, my boundaries are typically like if I have a commitment that I have made with friends or family, I'm like, it's overriding everything. I don't care if it's $1 million house. I'll, I'm really sorry I can't tonight, but I could at this time in the afternoon, or I could, Thursday, whatever. Give them 2 options, and my clients are all cool enough where they're like, oh yeah, Thursday will be fine, or whatever. They'll go with the flow, and that's so huge to me because time freedom and respecting my personal boundaries is so important.
Definitely, and I kind of find myself now being a little lenient with it as my kids get older.
Yeah.
But along my career, that worked for me because it created balance.
Yeah.
So it was like after 7, no. Like this is my family time.
Yeah.
This is what I do. Like, I'm not working. But now as they're getting older, every now and then, I find myself like I'll respond to an 8 p.m. text.
Yeah.
Every now and then. So it is like kind of
So really quick, you guys talk about family a lot, and I know that your sister is. You guys are very close.
Very.
So let's talk about your sister for a minute.
Sure.
Can we go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my sister is 5 years younger than me, and it's so funny. We're like this when we were growing up because we're 5 years apart, right?
Yeah.
I'm 16, she's 11. I'm like, stop following me, stop taking my clothes, and all that. So, but over time, I was kind of a bully to her, if I'm honest. So sorry, Kelly. But we're so good now, and our personalities are very much the same. Like we're very like quick-witted. Our sense of humor is the same. We're like off on a tangent in the next level, like where our husbands are like, oh God, here they go with the stuff and like the nonsense, whatever. Just a combination of like inside jokes and just stupidity. But she's unfortunately, she's been diagnosed with, I think, 4 autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, Raynaud's disease, she's got a thyroid disorder, and she was having these like fainting spells where like she would get really warm and her heart rate would go up and she'd just pass out like at grocery stores. Like it is so scary. And no one could figure out what it was. She had like a heart monitor for a year. Yes, like just she's done like and she's 42, so she's young.
So she's young. That's how old I am.
Very young, like very young, youthful, so youthful. And
it's like told you we're not much younger than you.
So she's gone to like holistic doctors, endocrinologists, like adrenal research, like just so many things, testing medications, and like the treatment for arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis is chemo, low dose chemo.
Wow.
So she's got a very weak stomach anyway, and so she would just be like, she'd take it on Sunday, and every Monday was just ruined for her because she was so sick all day, and her arthritis in her shoulder is so bad, like she can't even lift up her arm past here sometimes, like can't do her hair because of her shoulder arthritis. And I was watching this podcast, and it was about fasting for long periods of time and all of the benefits from it. And the doctor is Dr. Mindy Peltz, and she's actually a chiropractor, but chiropractors do a ton of holistic things,
a lot of
alternative,
a lot of them.
And I've been really open-minded to this. Actually, if I can just back up for another quick story. My friend Sean Wilmot, who's a real estate agent, one of my close friends, we always say he's like my brother from another mother. He was really sick and couldn't get better.
I didn't know that.
It was right after COVID. It was like 2021.
Yeah, and he had a bad reaction to one of the vaccines.
Yeah, so it was like 2021.
I mean, like elevated heart rate and anxiety.
I remember this. He was
all kinds of things.
No answers.
And it was terrible, and no answers. Tons of medical research, and he was like testing, and just it was medication. Yeah. Well, nothing was making him feel right, and if he took the medication, he just had like fog around his head, and he just didn't feel right. And so he started cold plunging, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's crazy. Like, what is he doing? Like, okay, so you go in like ice water, and I have this tub. I ended up buying one after Sean, but so we had this tub, and you go in it, and it's cold, and you try to stay in it, as like up to 4 minutes typically is like what I've heard most of all, and like 11 minutes a week to be in this water. And it's supposed to reduce inflammation, increase your metabolism, improve your mood, blood flow.
I do it in the shower. Like when I'm in the shower, I will literally like turn the shower as cold as I possibly can and just sit there as long as it's not the same because the water temperature is not the same, but even the benefits of doing it in your shower, they say you're not supposed to take hot showers too.
Yeah,
like hot showers are actually real. Not only that, just the health benefits. The hot showers are not people like a steam room is different from an actual hot shower.
Like a sauna.
So like a sauna, So I will literally turn it as ice cold as I can possibly stand it and stay in there. And it's actually great for your hair too.
Well, and it's like it helps you regulate your sleep, hormones, increases your mood, your focus, increases dopamine, like all of these things, like from going in cold water.
Yep.
So I didn't see him for like 2 or 3 months, and I saw him, and I swear, like for a while, it just seemed like a cloud was over his head, and he was like kind of like hunched and like just down, and like I saw him, and he was like looked really fit, and he looked energetic, and he was like elevated mood, and like he seemed like his skin looked great. Like I was like, he seemed like a different person, and I was like, he's back. Like like this, this version of Sean was back, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this inspired me. And I have a thyroid issue, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try this. And so I've added that that was 2024 as my year of health. So it was funny
Do you
that
do
you
it
said that,
outside?
Tyra.
Do you actually do it outside?
Well, ours is we have like a 3 seasons room.
Okay.
So it's probably about 40-ish, 42 degrees in there
Okay.
when it's 30 something outside. And the water is 39 degrees. And I go in for 4 minutes at a time. But I love it so much. I've been going every day because every day, like, it's like something to overcome, right? I did it. And everyone would be like, oh, how you do it? I'm like, you just do it. You just say you're going to do it and you just do it.
So what is this, like a tub?
Yeah.
Or,
Oh,
It's like a tub.
it's like a hot tub.
Like a
but it's not
barrel,
hot?
right?
Yes.
It's like a barrel.
But
like
ours
only
is like collapsible, like
Like
you can take it
inflatable,
down.
yeah.
Like those little inflatable pools, but it's like enough for one person.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just go in there with a winter hat on and some socks because your toes get really cold, and you just go in 4 minutes. And I'll usually like watch something inspiring while I'm doing it,
Okay.
and then I'll like come out and.
Do you go head under or just
No, not
head under?
You're not. You can put your head under quick, but you're not supposed to keep it under there.
Keep it
'cause
under?
You gotta keep your
So
brain.
this is a
warm.
room inside your home?
Yeah, it's a sunroom, screened-in room.
Okay.
At
A lot
the
of people
back.
actually do them outside. Like
Oh, yeah.
they keep them
Okay.
outside.
Ours froze over. It got this much ice on top.
Oh wow.
I was like, I can't go in there.
It started with athletes.
Yes.
Yep. To
Inflammation.
rebuild muscle.
Plyometric
Too,
stuff
yeah.
to help rebuild muscle.
Trust me, my legs were in.
Ice.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you look
A
at
lot as an athlete.
all
I'm sure.
athletic
My knees.
situations in locker rooms.
Oh, yeah.
They have about 10 to 12 tubs
Yeah.
that athletes do
With
this.
ice floating.
Floating
really
in that,
cold.
So is
Yeah.
it actually ice in there?
So it froze over like this much, and then we emptied it and refilled it.
So how long are you in there?
4 minutes, and I've been
Oh,
going
so just
about
4
every
minutes.
day. Yeah.
And you also did a fasting.
Oh yeah, so that's what I'm sorry. So I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do is as much natural things
Yes,
as I can, right?
definitely.
So I watched this podcast and it talked about fasting. And I was like, oh my gosh, I swear to you guys, I'm the hungriest girl you have ever met. I can eat all day and I work out to offset it. I will work out sometimes 3 hours a day because I eat so much. I love food so much. Like I love to cook. I love to eat great foods, so this is a very hard thing for me. Like this is not a normal thing for me. And so the idea of fasting, I was like, could I do this? Like, is this even a thing? And I'm an overeater. Like if I have good food, I want a lot of good food, not just little good food. So I was like, fasting, could I do this? And so then I took notes on this just because it was a lot, and it's like some medical things and some things went over my head, but after 13 hours of fasting, your blood sugar goes down, HGH, human growth hormone, goes up, which slows the aging process, increases fat burning, increases testosterone like by 1,300%, decreases inflammation. Breast cancer survivors had a 64% decrease in reoccurrence patterns after only 13 hours of fasting.
13 hours.
Which is not a long time.
No, if you think
So what
that
does
could
the
be a normal
fasting
day.
actually include?
Water
Like nothing-
only.
Only
Water
water
only.
for 13
Yeah,
hours
but
straight.
think you could do it partially while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you sleep for 7 hours. It's really only 6 hours. So maybe you stop eating late at night.
Got it.
Stop.
So
don't
like
eat
that
breakfast in the morning.
what is it called?
Intermittent fasting.
I would say that's intermittent fasting. That's
That's
kind
what
of.
it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So,
No, she like fasted like straight for.
Well, I'm
No, no.
going to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Here.
there's levels to it.
There's levels to
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
So 17 hours autophagy. Cells repair themselves. It's the shedding of old cells.
You just-
like you
okay.
start getting
William was manifesting.
I'm sorry.
No,
I was
he was over here
manifesting her.
For
To,
her.
And he was saying yes.
The
and I was like,
fasting
autophagy.
thing.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So 24 hours, your entire gut resets because there's lots of toxic things in your
Yeah.
stomach that you don't know about. And so you get intestinal stem cells start to form. It repairs the inner lining. So if you took birth control for a long time, if you eat bad foods, lots of antibiotics or medications, I mean, your stomach lining can be bad and you don't even know it. And that leads to a lot of inflammation, disease, autoimmune diseases that people don't realize. After 36 hours, your body goes to find stubborn fat. And most people carry the bulk of their fat in the same place, and it's the hardest to lose in your stomach. And after 36 hours, the body goes to find that because it's panicking because it needs something to burn for energy. And so it actually burns your stomach fat. And it's proven to like unstick weight loss. So if you can last for 36 hours, which is a day and a half, which is a long time, it can literally reset like your body on the inside. And my goal was to just change the way I thought about food, because I'm like obsessed, unhealthily obsessed. After 48 hours, new dopamine receptor sites are formed. It reboots your entire dopamine system. And the molecules of happiness and motivation are released through dopamine. And specifically with overeaters. So this one really hit me because I overeat. And we get dopamine from eating. We get dopamine from preparing food if we like to cook. And those are both triggers for me. I'm like, I love food, and we don't realize it. And if we're overeaters, our tolerance is so high, like where we need more and more. It takes so much more food to feel satisfied, but you really can't ever feel satisfied with it, unfortunately. So then the last level that really compelled me was after 72 hours, your entire immune system resets. It reboots and it recycles itself. White blood cells reboot themselves. You get full systemic cells that go to the areas in your body that need repair. And it was like, when I heard that, I was like, wow.
And
I mean,
saw
like
this on a podcast.
precancerous cells, like everything is attacked. If you have injuries, inflammation, she gave her, I saw her on a podcast, but it's Dr. Mindy Pelt. So none of this is my information. Go see a doctor. They always like say that. But like, I couldn't, like, she's like, this word has to get out.
Yeah.
You know, that there are ways your body knows how to heal itself. And so many times, when we're sick, you know, we're prescribing, here's a pill, here's a pill, here's a pill. Like my elbow has been hurting for, I can't even tell you, like the most ridiculous amount of time. And she had given the example, her Achilles was hurting her forever. And on that fourth day, or after the 72 hours, she could feel a tingling in it. Her body was repairing itself. And it's that survival instinct of our body. Just like it's like surviving off your body fat when on that third day or second day, it's wanting to make itself better. We have the medication within our body that we don't even realize without medication, without supplements, nothing. And that was the other thing that like the podcast I watched, she wasn't pushing, so try this supplement, so try this. No, she was just like, you can heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves. We don't need another prescription.
It's funny because I literally just said, I think I said, was it today or yesterday? I said to you that I think I'm addicted to food.
I am.
Was
I
it
guarantee
today?
I am.
Well, it was today?
And yesterday.
And yesterday. Okay. I love food.
I love food.
It's I eat out of boredom. I eat out of excitement. I eat like, but then I have him who prepares, like that's his like love language.
Sure.
Is preparing and doing food.
But I don't ever eat it.
But he doesn't ever eat it. He literally makes food for everybody, but he doesn't eat the same stuff we do. So he doesn't make food or he doesn't eat the food. But I said to him today, like we've talked about it because I mentioned to him that you were doing this fast and we're trying to get there, and I think that we're gonna do it if I can get my mental stability to do it.
And this falls into me the same category. You just do it. You don't say I'm gonna try. You just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it. And this is like this discipline that it's like the cold plunge. Like everyone's like, how do you do it? You just go in. Like then you don't have a choice. You're just, I'm not eating. So as I was watching this is all like a very long way to get to, I watched it and I'm like thinking my sister and her immunity issues and like how much I love her and how bad I feel that she goes through this. And I'm like, gosh, if I ask her like to do this with me, I could probably talk her into doing it. And so I have her watch it and she's like, oh, we should try fasting. And I'm like, yeah. And so we said, oh, let's do it for a day. And she's like, okay. And she's like, but I like the idea of like doing it where, you know, our stomach is going to like,
and that's at 24, is that the 24 hour mark?
36 hours.
Oh, 36
so 24 hours, your gut race, but 36 hours, then it starts eating your fat stores.
Okay.
So, and I can give all this to you guys and send you the podcast too. But she was like, oh, you know, because she was just feeling really bloated and she gets really puffy and lots of inflammation in her body. And she's like, yeah, we should do that. And then I ironically, Lisa sent me the same woman in a totally different talk And it went even a little bit deeper, and that 72-hour one came out. And so I sent that to my sister, and I was like,
That's wild.
because she's like me, we're eaters. Like, this is the craziest things that can come out of our mouths because we love to eat. Like, and I eat if I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm having fun, if I'm bored, I'll be like, I need to talk to a snack about this, whatever. So I was like, watch this and tell me what you think we should do. And so she watched it, and she was like, oh my gosh, we can't eat in 2024, can we? And I was like, no, we're done eating. It was fun though, wasn't it? She goes, we really used our time wisely. We got all the food. But then she said, we should do 72 hours. And I was like, I thought the same thing.
So what mark are we at right now?
So I stopped at, so we were supposed to stop at 2:30 today. That was our 72-hour mark. And she's like, are you going to eat right at 2:30? She's like, I wanted to set an alarm, like I can eat, Right. And I was like, no, I was like, actually I'm going to wait until I feel hunger. And so it ended up being 4 o'clock. So it was 73 and a half hours.
So what'd you eat?
Well, it was funny because everyone's like, I'm gonna eat a big cheeseburger, and I'm like, no, you can't.
Like the one I would avoid.
Yeah.
So I was
like, so bloated.
Oh gosh, what should I eat? And so Lisa had done a 3-day fast years ago, and I was like, well, what did you eat? I remember you doing it. What did you eat? She goes, I ate 3 olives and 2 macadamia nuts. Oh my god! And I was like, what? Okay, that doesn't seem like enough either. But I did happen to have olives and macadamia nuts, and they're healthy fats.
But don't your stomach shrink?
Yeah.
So you're not that hungry anyway.
No. Yeah. Yes, my stomach went from I was really puffy, and all of a sudden I was like, oh gosh, my stomach's coming down. I'm like, okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. I'll wear my skinny pants. Just kidding, they're still stretchy. But I really I was I wanted to be careful with what I ate, so I did eat that as a snack and just wanted to gauge how I felt or whatever. But then I was making dinner for my son and his lady friend tonight, and so I did eat just a tiny bit. I felt like I needed some protein, so I had a little bit of steak and really tiny portion, and a little bit of guacamole and 2 corn chips. I had the smallest meal, and I'm a eater. I went crazy, but I broke my corn chips in half so that it felt like 4 corn chips. I was just I just wanted to ease back in it. I don't want to undo all the work that I just did.
So when it comes to this, with your sister having these 4 autoimmune diseases and her doing this fast, is she feeling anything or what is?
I'm gonna find the text that she sent me, but I'll talk about. So we were FaceTiming last night, that's one thing is figuring out where else you're going to get your dopamine because you're going to miss that a little bit. Yeah. And I would get you have to drink salt water, so that you keep the electrolytes here and there, mix that in. So if I got a headache, I drink a little salt water or whatever. But I'm FaceTiming with her, and her inflammation in her face, her skin was clear, her face went down, and then I get this text this morning from her, and she said, I woke up feeling rested. I slept deep last night, which she normally doesn't. Hungry at breakfast time for a minute, and then it passed. I feel clear-headed. My face and my eyes look brighter. My inflammation is down more. No pain. I feel energetic. This feels great. Then she says, also had a nightmare that I ate Doritos this morning at breakfast time. I ruined everything. I was heartbroken, and I don't even care about Doritos. So,
that actually got me emotional.
I know. It was just hearing that. I'm this is why I did it. I just wanted her to feel better. And she felt so good that she's I want to incorporate this. So I said, well, if we get off track, let's just say, I'll do this with you. Yeah. Because nothing bad is going to come from it. And that's what I kept thinking. I'm people say, oh, it's crazy to do a cold plunge. Oh, it's crazy to do a fast that long. But if any of these, because so many of these align with me in my system. If any of these come true, if any of these are cleared up, how huge is that? Or if I can tell 2 people about it, if you're struggling with something, maybe this is what you need for your reset.
But I think there's so much facts behind it, though.
There
the cold plunge is not new. Like you said with athletes, like people have been doing this for years, but people aren't talking about it as much as they are now.
Well, and it's out, and that's the thing. Sean and I were actually talking today because I think I talked him into doing a fast just to kind of reset his system, because I'm like, you talked me into the cold plunge. I had to bring something good back to you, and it's like the medical community, like it's getting out there now with social media and just all these different outlets. Like, I mean, I have a thyroid condition. I take a pill. Well, it's killing my thyroid. That's all it does. So eventually I'll have no thyroid.
Right.
It's treating the thyroid, the symptom, not the actual problem.
And give
I've
you
said
side
that
effects.
so many times.
Yeah. Exactly.
Medication does
It's
not treat the
helping me.
problem.
Yeah.
It's not helping me.
Amy, can you talk about how you felt in those 72 hours?
So I told you I'm a hungry girl. So I was just waiting. I'm like, oh, my stomach's going to be growling. I'm going to, whatever. So I did eat a big lunch before I started it. But then I felt hunger at like 11 a.m. So I started Sunday, 11 a.m. Monday morning. I was like, oh, I feel hungry. Uh-oh, I feel hungry. I'm not eating. So I took some of that salt water and I drank the salt water, like a shot of it. It's disgusting to me.
So, explain. I want you to get back to that, but you keep talking about salt water. So in the fast, it talks about drinking salt water for electrolytes.
Electrolyte. So it holds it in, like, so that you don't lose. So you need sodium in your body, essentially.
Okay,
and I did Himalayan salt because it's got some minerals in it too.
That's all we use actually at home.
Okay.
Is Himalayan
so
salt.
have you ever made the Soleil water where you put like a quarter cup of Himalayan salt and then fill it with filtered water?
Okay.
And then you'll take a teaspoon of that and put it in 8 ounces of water and just down that.
Okay.
It tastes real nasty, but we named it bacon water so that we would feel better.
Bacon water. Bacon water. That's a great. Okay.
Do they help with like craving, like having an appetite?
So I shot that down, and I had a slight headache at that time too, and all of that went away. And if I started to feel hungry, I'd take a giant drink of water, and then it would go away. I'm like, am I actually just a really thirsty person?
Yeah.
Well, they've said that before,
Thirsty.
though.
No,
like,
no.
like you should drink a full glass of water even before you eat because it tricks your stomach.
So the water helps.
It
When you were
tricks
tremendously.
it tricks your body into thinking that you're even
There's something
full.
in there. There's something in there.
There's something in there.
And so I felt hungry, like 5 times total during the time.
In 72 hours.
Yes, in
5
72
times.
hours, 5 times. I had a headache twice that went away instantly, like literally within minutes of taking the salt water, and then I slept better.
Now,
Energy,
real quick,
clear head.
is the salt water cold or how
I just did a room temp.
Room temperature?
So that you can shoot it down quickly, you know, because it's real nasty and it does not taste like
I mean,
bacon.
but you think about it, like how many times have we taken back a shot and it's been like, you'd be like, whoa. Like,
Yeah,
but
shots
you
are nasty also.
Like,
And
shots
how
are
much
nasty.
salt? How much salt is it? Just like
Well, it's a teaspoon of that.
Teaspoon of
yeah,
that.
it's a teaspoon of the water that's like salt water solution, basically. So,
Okay.
and I can give you the recipe. Follow me for more recipes.
I'll take the recipe, please.
Because I have a feeling this might be like a
little
RPR
challenge.
iconic
the next
circle
challenge.
challenge. I can feel this coming.
I'll support you. I'll be like your counselor
That's
for
why.
this.
Can we just? I have to
Yeah.
go to a brunch this weekend though. So can we just wait till after my
Well,
mimosas?
and that's the thing is like I kept saying like, well, I'll do it this time. I'll do it. You know, like I kept pushing it off,
Yeah.
and it's hard. Like
It is hard because like
every weekend I have something
That's
like,
kind of
when
where
is
I'm
it
at.
ever going to be the right
Yeah.
time? It's never.
let's wait.
It's never the right time. You just
Monday,
gotta do it.
I would suggest during the week, Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, like, or something like
I
that.
can see this. I can see where this is going.
But okay, so I just thought of something. When I had this big spill when I was in the hospital, hospitalized for like 2 weeks. I had to go without eating for 4 days because of a situation with that involved like my stomach and all that, and they had to put tubes down my nose, all that stuff, whatever. So I'm just realizing that because you said something about your at some point
White
your
blood
white blood cells and all that, and they kept saying that my white blood cell level was is it high? Which one is bad?
If they're high, right?
Yeah,
They're
if it's high,
okay,
whatever.
yes.
That's
So now
fine.
that I'm realizing that's why they starved me. But anyway, so like
it's
I was
also too
literally
if they're low because
I
if they're low,
couldn't
you have cancer.
eat or
yeah.
drink
Okay, mine were low.
anything, but they said I could chew gum.
Huh.
So how about chewing
I don't know.
gum?
I
that
didn't
could
do
also be a
anything.
mind mental.
Because I couldn't eat or drink anything, but I found out I could chew gum.
Gum.
And that was
So-
like the best thing ever.
So the only thing is, The only
That's
reason
odd.
I did a full water fast, because some people do like coffee or bone broth or something.
Mm-hmm.
I did full water because everything can affect your blood sugar. Like gum can affect it. Fake
Yeah.
sugar, real sugar, whatever it is, it can affect your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be really mindful of that because so much of it is like resetting like your sugar craving.
Right.
Like nothing
Okay.
sweet sounds good to me right now. Everything sounds like
I mean, they
gross.
say you get addicted to sugar too.
You do, of course. And
My
sugar
kids
is a
love some
lot
syrup.
for the inflammation. Oh God. I
Like
love syrup too.
Oh my God, my kids love.
Old me did.
So how about with your sister? Did she stop taking the meds as well?
So she
Or-
took herself off the medication because it was making her so
Yeah.
sick. And she's like, I wasn't feeling like it was such a like, okay, I'm gonna either be sore or I'm gonna be sick all day and have to lay down like in bed. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so she kind of just decided that she wasn't gonna take that anymore.
Yeah.
But like she really felt good, and it was like just talking to her, like we were FaceTiming, and because I was like, I felt hungry and exhausted. It was like 6 o'clock last night, and I was like, okay, I feel really hungry right now, and I feel so tired.
That's why I wondered about the
I
tiredness.
did. I felt exhausted, and I was like, I'm calling her. Because we said we'll just be available to each other, so I
Yeah.
highly recommend having a little accountability partner. And so
We'll
just-
have 5, so
that's perfect. So I FaceTime
I don't know if he
her.
knows about this yet.
And like I had like where she was telling me like we started laughing. She's like, yeah, I had a hot water. We talked about like hot water latte, like just dumb stuff, right? I made a bowl of cereal with water and put ice cubes in it and a spoon. I'm like, I just enjoy my cereal. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's
sending
I
funny
love
things
that,
back and
though.
forth, and
That's great.
like how crazy people thought we were, all this, we're just laughing. And so like all of that hunger and sleepiness went away because I was getting dopamine
Yeah.
from talking to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much healthier, right? And as we're talking, she's like telling me everything that's better. And I was like, Kelly, I wanted to do this for you. Like, I wanted you to feel better. I wanted you to feel whole and right. And like, she's like such a good person. And I'm like,
Yeah.
she gives to like so many people. And I'm like, you do not deserve this, like to be in this much pain at your age. And it's not going to get any better if something doesn't intervene in between.
Yeah.
So it was just like, so her and I are crying, right? And so I have the AirPods in, and my daughter can only hear my side of the conversation. And she comes in crying, and she's like, oh, like she hugs me, and I was like, so yeah, it was really moving, and it's true.
I mean, I can only imagine even physically the power that it has, but it's even mental and spiritually, like the power within it. And
so
as Brooke
much.
said, like walking through those 72 hours, like kind of take us through, like what emotions do you feel? Well, obviously it's an emotional.
It is. Well,
but
because it's like some like, wow, I can do this.
It's a
like
self-discipline.
it's an empowerment, right?
Empowerment,
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, food has owned me my
Yeah.
entire life. I feel like I've always been an emotional eater. I have always overate. I just had poor eating habits in
Yeah.
general. Like even I think like my dad wanted a boy, and I was a girl. And so, like, he would be like, "Oh, we'll race to get me to eat my food. Let's race." So I eat fast. I, like, I don't pay attention to what I'm eating, quantity. Like, I don't like quantity and quality. And especially if I have quality, then I want all the quantity. And I just like all these bad habits that, like, I have a full meal at a restaurant. Well, they're huge portions, and I'm eating the whole thing. Like, do I need to eat the whole thing?
It's funny, like, I don't even, do you think culture has anything to do with it? Because I'm listening to, like, everything you're saying, and, like, I'm Italian. So eating is a thing that we do. And eating is a thing that we do a lot of.
Yeah,
Like,
I think everything
I think
we
it
do
covers,
socially
like, all
though too.
do you think, I was going to say, do you
Everything
think
you do
it's-
socially. You're meeting for dinner. You're meeting for coffee. You're meeting for lunch. You're
Like everything was big portions. There was,
Yeah.
I mean, what
That too.
most Italians even do family
I think
style.
that's
Everything is
American.
family style. You think it's an American thing?
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
I learned that from like I have clients from all over. So my my Japanese clients that came here one time, and they're like, you guys eat too much.
Yeah.
And they eat really small portions.
Yeah, they do.
Like when we
Well, not
would go,
with
they only
Japanese.
eat like a little small portion. And they just said like, American people just eat like way too much.
We do.
So-
I am that American that you're speaking of.
It's in general, like.
No, I am.
I
that.
do. I eat even if I'm absolutely full, like, and it's
Yes.
that good.
And
I
I'll
will.
feel like my stomach could split
Yes.
open. Like I have no
That's how I said it.
shame.
That's why I
It's
think
insane.
I have the same
I used
addiction.
to be like that. I had an eating like problem, and I like would starve myself for like these competitions, and then I would go on binges. But I want to say, you were talking about when you were a little girl and how your dad would be like, let's eat. And so with my niece and babies in general, I feel like there's these schedules out there, and it's like, how do you feed your child? Like, they have to eat at this time, or they have to have a 6-ounce bottle at this time. And I was feeding her, and I feel like she was just like throwing up, like she wasn't hungry. And I'm like, Ryan,
this is the time she eats.
She's not hungry. And I'm like, this is like bad habits to teach your baby. Like, you need to eat, like forcing the baby to eat, because you know, like, you learn.
They
things
do.
as a
They
baby.
ingrain that. Like, you need a 4 to 6 ounce bottle every 4 to 6 hours, and it's like,
so now
and you're
right. Like, if she's sleeping, I'm not gonna wake her up to feed her. Like, I'm gonna wait till she wakes up, and when she starts getting fussy and she feels like she's hungry, then I'll feed her, you know? And then when she's done and she's pushing the bottle away from me, I'm not gonna force it in her mouth. She's done, you know? And I think a lot
that's where it starts.
But, you know, young parents, they don't realize. They're like, I don't want my baby to starve.
This is what the book says to do.
Absolutely.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
They tell
it's
us
also
just like the medication.
I was
They
just
tell
gonna
us to
say,
take that.
it goes back to the medication, and even like when you're in the hospital and you have a baby, they have people come in and tell you, oh, like, scared me. I was like, what's happening?
They're shutting it down.
Lights out. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Right. Are we good?
Closing
But they do, like, even in the can we get another round, bartender, before closing time? But they do even do that, and they keep you to these schedules of what you do. And I think I agree. I don't think I know I agree with all of you, because it does become such a mental battle and struggle, where even when we talked about this fast, I looked at him and I was like, I don't really know if I can do this.
Well, trust me. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Like, I can eat so much. I was on a cruise ship with 4 of my girlfriends, and we're at breakfast, and I'm like, 4 of these things look good to me. This omelet looks good. They had Captain Crunch French toast. They had some sort of, like, I was like, I'm getting all of that. And they're like, well, you can. It's a cruise ship. So I ordered, and I'm like saying my order, and the guy looked at me, and he's like, we have other people to feed here. And these people are like paid to be polite, right? They're over the top. And he's like, there's other people that need to eat here. And I was like, oh, okay.
He said that?
Well, can I have the first 3 I ordered? And he was like, sure. And so he brings it out, and I have like this much space, right? My friend next to me is like, they're looking at me, and I'm just going. And I eat fast, so you don't even realize you're full. Like, I mean,
They've said that too, that the faster you eat, that you should never eat that fast too, because your brain doesn't have the time to.
It's so that's why, like, today I'm like, I retrain my brain. Like, I was eating like it looked ridiculous.
Like, you took a macadamia, like, what was the nut? You like bit it in half, like.
Aiden's like,
no, the corn chip.
The corn chip in 4 pieces, like
I'm
that.
like, Caleb's friend probably thought he was crazy, because I'm like, like.
No, I think
it's become such a mental thing.
Yeah, it's eating and making sure you have water or a drink next to you, and like talking with people, or like watching a show. And so you eat, you take a bite, you know, you drink something, you put it down, you watch, or you're talking with somebody, then you go in like a minute later, whatever.
Pace yourself.
It's okay to have a variety. I think that's great. But you don't need to eat everything, you know?
And why can't I just enjoy? We were at a real estate event last week, and the food was good. I was like, oh gosh, that food's good. Well, I had a pretty full plate, and then I was like, I'm gonna go get some more. Like, because it was good food, and so why? I was full. I ate a whole plate.
We do that all the time.
We
get stuff and we split it, because I don't want just one thing. I'm not.
I like that.
I like that variety.
I'm a fan of that.
I do. So
I'll
like, what are you gonna order? Because whatever you order, I'm gonna order something different.
I was gonna order that too, but I was also looking at that.
So what about if we split it?
It's a tasting then. That's fine.
That's how it works.
But what I got from you with what you said was replacing that dopamine.
Yes.
So
I made I was like, let's make a list of how we're gonna go from here and what we're gonna do, and I put it in my thing. I'm like, I love cooking for other people. I don't mind making a meal for somebody else, so if any of y'all are hungry, hit me up. Like, I like doing self-care stuff. I like doing like a hair mask or a face mask, going for a walk, yoga. I like doing word searches. I'm an old lady.
Oh my God, I love word searches.
I play pickleball. That's my old lady sport. Reading, watching a podcast, phone call with a friend, sending a card, doing something kind for someone else. I'll play video games with my kids, organize something, purge, clean my car, like anything.
Did
that
you
just
make this
gets
list
me
before?
No, after. We're like, what are we going to replace
Replace
eating
it,
with?
yeah.
Eating with.
Because
That's a good
what I
idea.
got from-
That's a great idea.
That's what she's saying. Like that eating gives you that feeling.
Yeah. What can
So
I do?
what can you
Yeah.
do to replace?
That's a great
that
idea.
feeling whenever you
And
you know,
for me,
feel like
I
eating.
think being productive is a lot of times it triggers my dopamine if I feel like, oh wow, I accomplished something talking to people because I'm extroverted. But sometimes it might just be self-care if you're an introvert. You know, I mean, who knows? So
I guess my question is with your sister, like, this sounds great, and I'm sure this is going to become like an RPR challenge. I'm waiting for it to be in our group text. But my question is with your sister, like, where does this go from here now? Like,
well,
what is the next step?
so that was the other thing we did. The other half was making health goals for ourselves. You know, moving our body, focusing on real foods, increasing protein. Like, you know, if you're working out and you're a woman, like you need almost it's like a gram of protein per pound. If you're working out, if you're lifting weights, things like that. You'd probably know more about that bodybuilding. Increasing veggie variety, decreasing sugar, and putting some of those intermittent fasts in our lives. Like, I guess, like for women, you're not supposed to do the same fast all the time. Like sometimes you
That
might do
makes
the
sense.
13-hour, maybe in a couple weeks you do the 24-hour. You know,
Think about
That
during
makes sense.
Ramadan, the women, when they're on their menstrual cycles, they don't have to participate in the fast. So yeah, with our hormones as females,
Yeah.
it's not always healthy to be
No.
fasting
No,
at that
for
time.
sure.
But
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And something you said about your sister was the rheumatoid arthritis thing. So I was actually diagnosed with that probably about 12 years ago. And they tried to give me this medication that I was actually on the way to get the prescription for, and something said, you know, just read a little bit about this medication. Literally, I read the side effects from that, and I said, I'm not taking this. There's some side effects that's just like, okay, it's just this and that.
Sure.
They had side effects like you could go blind.
Oh, really?
Like,
When you watch those
these
commercials and you
major
see
side
those
effects.
lists of
Have you listened?
medication
I was going to
side
say,
effects,
have
it's
you
crazy.
listened to some of those side effects on commercials? And
They
you're
have to say it so
oh,
fast
this is
so they
great,
can
but
put it in the commercial.
and oh, by the way, you can die.
It was like when I saw that,
Suicidal thoughts.
I said I'm already.
Suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, it was like a
Some of
no
them
for
say
me.
that. I'm like, do you think people do we get so accustomed to just hearing all those side effects?
Yes.
And
Because
it's
they
crazy.
do. They say
like,
it so
it makes
fast,
you
and I'm
worse.
like,
And some of it's
Wait a
for crazy
minute.
things that don't even seem that bad. I'm
Yeah.
like, why are we taking a pill for
It
this?
literally, the medication literally makes you worse.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I learned
because then
that.
what happens is when that happens is you get a medication for a treatment that doesn't treat the problem, it treats symptoms, and then what happens is you get new symptoms, and what do? They give you more medication
worse
to
symptoms.
treat
Sure.
those symptoms, and it becomes a ripple effect. I'll never
Yeah.
forget, my grandma was in the nursing home. She went in on 6 medications, and by the time she passed away, she was on 27 medications
Wow.
because
That's just-
they start
yeah.
treating symptoms and
Oh, yeah,
not
this.
the
We'll take this.
problem.
Yeah,
Give her
this, take
this.
this.
And then that medication causes new symptoms, and then you get more. So yeah, she's six medications and 27 when she passed away.
And it's like she said, like our body, we are wonderfully made.
gosh,
Like our body
100%.
literally
Yeah.
will heal itself.
Yeah.
But the problem is the foods that we take in and the things that we take in that damages things.
I mean,
not
the
allow
medical
our body
system is a
to
scam.
heal it. It definitely
It
is.
is. Yeah.
If you guys knew who even created that system, it wasn't
Did
private.
you know?
money.
It'd be a whole
Yeah.
different conversation.
That was
It's a whole other conversation.
And I have
And
to
I'm,
say,
I'm
like,
ready for it whenever you guys are ready.
You always bring receipts. I never doubt Tyra's receipts. But when we talked about this yesterday, and I said to you, like, stop, I want to talk
Yeah.
about this tomorrow. Like, I appreciate you coming and being able to talk about this because
course.
I learned a lot of stuff. And like I
Yeah.
said, I have a gut feeling in our group chat. There's going to be something about a 36-hour fast coming very quickly.
Yeah, I love the way you broke everything
Well,
down.
again, I
you
took
know,
very
about,
diligent
yeah.
notes on her podcast. Mindy Peltz, all credit goes to her. Like, I don't want any, like, copyright infringement. No, but she's got 2 books. I know one was, like, Fast Like a Girl, and the other one was body reset or something like that. And the Fast Like a Girl one was specifically for women because we have hormones and all that. And I just like, it was one of those things where it was life changing. And as she was so passionate talking about it, she's like, we can heal ourselves. This message has to get out to the world. Like we can heal ourselves through fasting, and like just life changes. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
That's how I was with the lady about eating by your blood type. Have you heard about that?
I have. What blood type are you?
I'm B.
Oh, do you know what you are?
Yeah.
I have not a clue.
Do you know yours?
I do.
What are you?
I'm O negative.
Oh, you're O.
Oh, you're rare.
You're
Yes.
rare.
So
I'm a
have you
universal
tried
donor.
eating by your blood type?
So it's interesting that you said that because one of the bugaboos.
Yeah, I found someone who
I
knows
know.
their
I'll
blood
talk
type.
about this. I love this. One of the things was like for O negative is pork is like a thing.
Pork is bad for everyone.
Well, yes. And I had like always an aversion where I'm like, I don't like pulled pork, I don't like pork chops. Like it was like I could never figure out why. And then I read that, I was like, oh. And then like bread is not supposed to be good.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be like meat though, chicken, beef. It's very heavy meat for me.
Yeah. O's are I specifically like looked at the B's.
Of course. What was
because
yours?
That's what I am.
Yeah. What's yours?
So it's my for the meats it's like lamb.
Oh, okay.
So lamb is good for me.
Okay.
All the other meats are either neutral or harmful
or
for
whatever
me.
it was.
I'm gonna have to go look mine up. I'm almost
It's just
positive
interesting,
I
and
know.
I don't know. Like I was not good at following it, but I like loved learning. Like I love learning like nutrition and all of that. Like I am all about it. Like especially this year, I'm like I want to really make myself like the best version. Like I'm like, okay, I'm doing a gratitude every morning and every night. I'm doing a gratitude journal. And I wake up and I saw this girl on TikTok and right where I get everything. No, but I did. I saw this girl on TikTok and she said there really is. I mean, like it opened my eyes to a lot of things, and then I'll research or whatever. But she said every morning she looks in the mirror and she looks herself in the eye and she says, I love you, I love you, I love you. And she's like, make solid eye contact. And then say, God or whatever you believe in, I cannot wait to see the miracles and blessings you have in store for me today. And believe it with your whole heart and see what happens. And I am telling you, I've been doing this for 1 week, and it was something that I added on, and this podcast happened. Four properties went under contract. Like it was like it's been thing after thing after
you really
thing.
believed
like,
it
I
when you
believe
did it. Yeah,
and I believe it.
I could tell that you believed it. So
And
it happened.
then I go back and I journal, write my gratitude journal. I meditate. I've been doing like deep breathing, Wim Hof, like trying to like breathe. Like breathing is the most important thing we can do. Without breath, there's no life. And so just breathing, deep breathing, and then I'll cold plunge, and then I go work out, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be the year.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of the right things for the right reasons.
That's amazing.
I love that.
So we have to wrap this up, but we usually wrap up with 2 questions. But I think I'm gonna steal yours.
Go ahead.
What is something that nobody knows about you?
That's the one I was gonna ask.
Is that what you're gonna ask? I would say that's why I said I'm stealing your question. Because my other
No, it's not in your notes.
you can't. No, you can't. It's in your notes.
It may be in your notes.
You really? She printed out the. She printed
listened to your
out the
email.
email.
So we have that. Is that one in the email?
It is. Is it? I don't think it's in the. I don't think it's in the email. I don't think that's in our email.
She's
Is
like,
it?
this one's not in the email.
Is it? Is it in the email?
Yeah, it is. Hold on.
Okay, we might need to switch these questions up. Do you have anything else?
I think that one's good though. What's
something that
no one knows about?
It's in there.
Still a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would have said a geographer because no one knows that about me.
I was pretty sure.
And that was one of my notes. But I worked at Home Depot
Okay.
for 2 years.
Did you? You worked at Home Depot?
You worked at Home Depot?
Robert worked. I would have.
That explains the Tim's over there.
I know. I'm not used to not seeing you in Jay's, but
So
I would have never guessed
yeah, I
Robert
worked
worked at
at
Home
Home
Depot, and you
Depot.
worked.
Rob
What did
worked
you
at
do
Home
at Home
Depot.
Depot? Was it
Well,
cashier? Or did you work in the hardware
everyone
department?
assumes that it's a cashier, but I worked in the electrical department for a good chunk of time under a master electrician.
Oh, wow.
Who taught me a ton. Like I can actually like change out switches and light fixtures.
I know who to call.
All right.
Yes, and then I worked at. Oh my God! I just thought of what I should have actually told you guys.
Let's hear it.
Nope. No, I'll just finish. And then I worked in the plumbing department, so I can change out the inside of your toilet.
Wow.
Oh.
So when I got to
Right,
get
and I
our
would
sump
teach
pump
classes about
issues,
these things. So
should have called you.
And
I
we
can't do
have
that.
one more question.
Wait,
before
I
we
want to
go.
hear her other thing she should have said.
I was struck by lightning.
What?
I was struck by lightning.
How did this happen?
No one saw that coming. This is crazy. No one saw this coming. So I am in my car. It was during a storm. I'm on my cell phone and I'm driving, and all of a sudden it was a very bad lightning storm. All of a sudden I'm on the phone talking to my friend. Lightning strikes my car, I can feel it go through my cell phone, through my body, and all the way through, like, to my toe. No, nothing was affected, but it 1,000%, like, it hit my,
I thought you were supposed to be safe in your car.
I thought, well, your tires ground you, so
I feel
you're
like
grounded,
that phone
but-
probably
So
has
then
something
what?
to do
Did
with
you-
it
Yeah,
too.
I think it went through my cell phone. I'm not kidding. Like,
Did you lose, like...
Yeah, these
Yes,
phones
it was
are
like
dangerous.
zzz, and my phone died.
No, did you lose, like...
No, it was crazy.
But you
and I was the
felt
only
like
one on the road.
something go through
Felt
your
it all the
body.
way go down all of my entire body. Yes, it was wild.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
no side effects.
And
that is
well, maybe.
more.
I don't know.
That tops the geographer. I'm
And
not
Home
gonna lie.
Depot that I can
And
fix a toilet. I mean,
that's pretty. That is
lightning.
super
I'm
impressive.
calling you for the
I
next
don't-
toilet job.
Yeah, I don't. No,
I'm tired now. I'm
but
tired,
I need
sorry.
you to fix my toilet.
No, I literally was at Lisa's place in South Carolina. I'm like, oh, it just needs a blah 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 blah, and she was like,
How do you know that?
oh, okay. How do you know that? Like she looked at me like I was out of my mind. Yeah, the flapper was broken, and I'm like, I tried adjusting the chain, but that didn't work. So I was like, oh, okay.
That's so funny.
So the last question was,
Yeah.
do you know your life path number?
No.
Oh, that's a whole nother
What's your
topic.
birthday,
Here we go.
Okay, June
That's a whole-
9th.
Because I feel like
What do you
before
think
you
she
say
is?
it, I
What do you
feel
think she
like
is?
She's either a 2 or a 6.
So
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
what
our
this is.
a lot of our
Teach me
topics. And
something.
Kelly
So what's
like
your
kind of
birthday?
really like.
Oh,
go ahead.
God, I love
06.
6.
Kelly Thomas, I love you wherever you are.
What's your birthday?
June 9th. 6-9.
Do
7-6.
Are you okay
7-6.
with giving your year? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 47.
So-
remember?
We like have gone
She's
through
8.
like
She was
all
You're
of
a
our.
2. I was
I
right.
was 8.
You said too. We've gone through all of our life
You're
paths.
two.
So now you want to do more research. You're gonna go home and look up
And let me
life
do it again
paths
just to make
too.
sure.
What is the number 2?
6'9", 1976.
Yeah. I'm a 2. I know what that means.
What is the number 2?
10 plus 10. The 2 is a peacemaker. 2s are peacemakers.
I am?
Yeah. So
She says I am.
No.
Are you
I
a
would believe
peacemaker?
that. I
Like-
would believe that.
I feel like you're a
I
peace
fully
because
believe that.
the reason why I
Because
said 2
I
or
know.
6 because 2s are a peacemaker, 6 are the nurturers
Yeah,
and
I can see a
caregivers.
6.
No,
So-
I'm not a
Yeah,
6.
So
I'm not a 6.
I guess
maybe
you
a little
can be
6-ish.
Yeah.
But
anyway, you're a 2.
it depends what it is. Yeah.
So now,
alright.
so go
Look it
look
up.
into life path too, because we dove
path
deep into this
too.
with Kelly.
Okay.
And it's kind of just stuck with us. So we like talk about our life paths. Like we all know our life paths, and they hold very true testament to.
It's your
all of
main
us.
goal in life. So you ultimately always come back
Come
to
back to
just
it.
bringing peace. So if you feel that way,
Yeah.
but you could look more
I
into
Look
will
it.
more
look
into it
into
because we
them.
might follow up with you on that.
Is there one for fun? Because that's kind of more my vibe.
That's like 5.
I don't think you get to. No, because you guys are five. You
Well,
five.
okay, so my goal,
Freedom
like, honestly,
seeker.
is, like, joy, right? Like, I just want everyone to be
Peace.
happy around me.
Peace.
So,
Peace.
that's
Yeah.
like my, son's, the girl that he had over, she was like, yeah, she goes, Michigan. She's from Idaho. And she's like, Michigan is, like, really different. And
That's
I'm like,
peace. It goes
what?
with peace.
And she's like, well, people aren't just like that nice. I'm like, what? Midwesterners are known for being nice. And she's like, like at stores and stuff. I go, oh no, you just have to make them nice. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, you just make it nice. And she's like, what? I was like, just be like, oh my gosh, I like your shirt. Or how's your day been? Or like ask them something to bring them out
bring them, yeah.
Because everyone's walking around with this negative cloud.
Yeah.
And it's like,
So you're
how do
trying
you
to
get out of that?
constantly bring peace.
my
You're
gosh.
literally falling
Thank
into
you, Dr.
exactly
Tyra.
what Tyra say.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
make it
right.
right.
She went.
So yeah, so you're gonna look into life
I'm a
path
2,
too.
y'all. I'm a
You're a
2.
2, and look into it more, and it's all gonna. And then talk to Kelly about your North Node because we would dive into that too.
I will.
So,
I will.
but yes,
All right.
thank you
This
so
was
very
so
much.
fun.
This was so much fun.
Fun.
And
Thank you for saying that.
we will definitely be
my love
following up
language.
on the fast, the 36-hour fast that I have a really.
I'm here
strict
for it. Let me know. what you
Okay,
need.
so do we get to call you?
Absolutely.
And
At
like
3 o'clock in the morning,
encourage
we
you.
gotta
FaceTiming
pray.
you.
Do we get to
I will
FaceTime
encourage
you at
you.
3 o'clock in the morning when I need some dopamine?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You will leave smiling, I promise.
That's too funny. Sorry.
Hey.
Thank you guys for tuning back into the RPR podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We need those subscriptions, those likes, those comments. We will see you next week on the next podcast. Peace.
All right. Thank you so much.
guys.
Peace. Bye, guys.
Thank you. It's a wrap.
Oh.